Welcome back to another week of the number one HBCU band podcast. I mean, in the world, in the country. Face Off Around the Culture. I'm your host, Horatio.
Dog, what's going on, y'all?
Hey, man, this is another great week in HBCU band. I cannot lie. The battles this week were so close. Probably the closest we've seen all season, at least from my opinion. This is just closing off to be one of the best seasons in HBCU band I've seen in a long time. I mean, between the battles, the matchups that are actually not like so one-sided, the a lot battle of the bands. We have like a lot of battle bands to talk about. I mean, we just had a great week in band, man. How are you feeling about this week and just the overall season in this year?
This week in particular made me realize something. I feel like now is the hardest it's ever been to just actually participate and do well at a high level for band. There's so many eyes every week. The pressure is high. You got to have new songs, and then the competition is stacked. So you have to have some fresh things, and it still got to be executed and played very well. I heard a lot of things this week. I'm like, man, I wish they had another week, 2 weeks on this, but you don't have the time. You don't have the time coming around. So, it's the competition is high. The stakes is always high in the band world. That's what came to mind about this week for me.
Yeah, man. And with that being said, bro, let's start with a question. I know we normally start with our theme, but let's start with a question because I've seen this being posed on Facebook. I just thought this was interesting. Somebody posted, I want no more battle of the bands. It's killing the whole vibe of the fall season. Do you think that there are too many battles, like it's oversaturation at this point? I know we said that this is the band, like this is just a golden age for band at this time, but are there too many battles that we're having to where it's too much? What you think?
Great question. I think this is what I was also thinking as well. Band is transforming itself into a different type of viewership. What do I mean by that? Sometimes you have a fan that follows the whole culture. I feel like what band is turning into is you got to pick your select few. You got to pick your top 2 or 3 and then follow them throughout the season to get just ingest the culture. If you try to get everything, you'll probably be all over the place.
Yeah.
Or you just come here and we'll deliver it for you.
I know, right? This is the perfect place. But no, that's very true. Like you're gonna at some point with the bands being so good now, you're gonna have to find like your slice of it and kind of just dive into it in that way because it's gonna be hard to keep up with a lot of these bands that are pretty good. Like we said, the competition is very close, the closest I've seen in a while. So it's not just so much one-sided now. And this is kind of what we wanted. This is what we wanted as a band culture to have, like we had last week talking about playing your game. Everybody is in their own lane, playing their own style, and it's going to be hard for us. Like we're the winners, the people that are consuming it. So yeah, that's just something I put. We're going to talk about that throughout the live today. But just are there too many battles? Is it oversaturation? But like you said, you're going to have to find a common ground like FaceOff to go to get the news because there's so many bands competing at a high level.
And on top of that, I would say is we got the online territory, but these things still need to happen because of the in-person draw that there is. There's nothing like going to some of these events when you're actually in person. To me, that still adds a lot of flavor to the fall season when you're able to have these things where you get a variety of bands in one place outside of just, head-to-head, band versus band, or you show up to the game and the other band don't travel. So
right.
Still
right.
That's me.
Exactly. So with that being said, our theme for tonight is how delusional are you about your band? Not only because these competitions are so close, and you're going to have to be delusional to justify a win sometimes for these battles. That's one. But two, I saw a video this week posted on Texas Southern's page. Texas Southern's band posted a video of an Alabama State band member like dancing or bopping along on the sideline to Texas Southern. And it made me think, you have to be delusional when you're in the band. No questions asked. No questions asked. Because if you're not, first of all, if you don't, you're scamming yourself because you're the one that's doing all this practice time. You're the one that's like busting your lips out the frame for this band. You're the one that, you're the one that's actually in practice. So if you're not delusional about your band, literally no one will, right? Also, Even if you do go, because people in the comments will go, man, just let the music, we're all HBCU members, just let the music, enjoy the music. You can't even enjoy another band. That's how delusional you got to be. You can't enjoy another band because they're going to post it as propaganda on their page to go like, look how much your band member is enjoying us. That's why when you're in the band, you have to be 100% delusional. And this goes back to your point that you made earlier this year, that band heads are delusional. And it starts while you're in the band. Mm-hmm. I mean, because you cannot put this much hours in practice. You cannot do this much stuff just to give us a simple head bob to another band. No, your program has to be number one. And it made me think about when I was a freshman coming into A&T, right? Literally first or second day of camp. So one of my crab brothers is playing a Southern video, right? As we're walking up the steps to our calf, right? Mm-hmm. Man, we had a section leader stop him and stop us. It was like a group of us and said, look, I understand that y'all come from high school. I understand that you just got here. We don't glaze other bands here. You march for North Carolina A&T. Therefore, this is what if you're going to find a band of glaze, you're going to find it in us. Either going to, you have to. And it started right there. And I always appreciated him for saying that because it does start right there. I don't care if we're in a battle and the band across sounds good. They can sound good in your mind on the bus or at your crib.
Right.
Outside, when you're with us 100%. And that's what this video made me. I'm like, damn, bro, they got a video. And of course, the guy, he was just bobbing his head. It was a mellophone player. He was like, yeah, this is a good band. But they posted it on their page. That is why you have to continually be delusional. That's why the theme of today is how delusional are you about your band? Because while you're in the band specifically, mm-hmm. I mean, the band across from you can be doing something amazing. And you have to be like, well, I mean, it's out of tune. It's not the best. I mean, I don't care if you have to find things that's wrong with it. You're going to have to because you put this much effort into being in this band. You chose this band. So guess what? Everything that comes with it, you're going to co-sign. So I thought that's the theme of the day. What you think about that, man?
Delusional, dog. We had a situation where, man, that's crazy. No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's actually pretty regular, right?
I'm not even faced by this, and point where, man, I'm gonna give you a perfect example, bro. First Crank Fest, Tours drop. I'm like, man, that's light. Tours, it's light. That was light. I'm not sweating that. I'm looking back at the clips. I'm like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that was one of the best. Yo, that's crazy. That was one of the best like band moments videos in a while. You were there and you had to act like it wasn't anything. Yeah. Yeah. So that just made me think about like, this is what you have to do in band. Because if you don't, other people will simply start to believe it too. Like that's how much energy is prevalent in these battles. Like even if you give the other band like, oh wow, that was pretty good. Like you have to stay in your own energy. You have to stay glazing your own band. So that's a part of tonight is how delusional are you about your band? That and simply because there are battles in this band that are there are battles tonight that we're going to talk about that are very close. So with that being said, let's start. Where you want to start at, man?
Man, let's start with we work our way up with this one. So let's start with the Union.
Yes, great. I want to start that too. Virginia State versus Virginia Union. First of all, let's be honest. We've been talking about Virginia Union a lot this year, right? Kind of coming up as a program. Really, like they're doing like a great job as far as like bringing the culture kind of from that SWAC kind of sound with their director and everything to Virginia. Making this kind of big jump as far as like being one of the best bands in Virginia, right? But Virginia State, this is one of the best I've seen Virginia State, like battle ready to like see another opponent. Like I didn't think that I was going to get this level from Virginia State. And I think that this shows that having a band like Virginia Union in Virginia is helping all parties, especially like bands that are closest to them, like the Virginia States and stuff like this. This was a very good battle. Like I said, this was very close in my opinion. Virginia State started this battle off very well. Fast, they played Torture. Very good song for them. Union played a fast, upbeat song. To me, I feel like they won the first round.
Mm-hmm.
But not like too much. I felt like it was just a better battle-ready type of crank-up band. They're going to give you a lot more moments than Virginia State. That has more of like a box sound. But I mean, very good. Next song they played was they played a crank song. I put very impressive. Virginia Union played Novocaine. I feel like Union won again based on the same characteristics, like great band sound, but just not as like Union is ready to like kind of take your soul in a battle type more than Virginia State. And that's something that Virginia State has to work on if they're going to really beat this band flat out completely. Okay, so while Virginia State is playing, let's say in the third round, Union plays over them, right? Trying to take control of the battle. And that's something that I realized with a lot of these battles that are close. With battles that are close, there has to be a time where you have to say, we're going to take this. We have to take it at some point. And this is where Virginia Union was trying to take the battle in totality. And here's where I feel like Virginia State lost a little bit. They played the song. They kept looping the song over and over again to be heard, right? If you get cranked on by a band that plays over you and the attention goes to the other band, finish the song and come back with another song. Don't keep looping the song, in my opinion, to be heard. You know, I feel like you're like reaching for something when you go, okay, we'll take that. Nobody really heard that or whatever. We'll go to another song. I feel like they kept looping it, and that's why I feel like they lost a round. They kind of gave the battle to Union. What do you think so far? I got the rest of the notes. Kind of midway through the battle.
Right on that one so far. I think that it's play calling for Virginia State, right? We've seen them go a very long time with Bowie, so I felt like they had a nice book and repertoire to pull from coming into this battle.
Mm-hmm.
I just expected Union to be a lot more aggressive and then dictate a lot of the battle because that's their style. They're going to do that. And I didn't see Virginia State doing anything to negate that or change it. You know, with the best thing they say, you got to take away people's secret weapon. You got to take away what they do best. And I felt like that meter was on Virginia State to do to Union. So I think up until that point, I had Union up.
Definitely. Okay. I mean, this was just great play calling from this point down to the battle. This is great play calling for me from both bands. Virginia Union played Fantastic Voyage. Virginia State played Jumpstart. Great combination of songs. I feel like Virginia State played Beautiful by Drew Hill. I thought that was great. You played We Are the Champions, which was even like again a better type of like crank song, but both still good. Like this is a very entertaining battle from these bands. I feel like Union had the edge, but it's the best I've seen Virginia State. I'm excited to see Virginia State next year. They look good as well. Like some of the best I look like see them like presentation wise. Virginia State looks good. So yeah, I'm excited to see this battle more in the future. Union versus Virginia State. They're very close in proximity and distance. Probably like 45 minutes from each other. So or even closer maybe. But to be honest, yeah, man, this is a great battle. Like this is one of the best battles I've seen from these two bands. And I'm excited that they're really close. So, but I'm gonna give the edge to Union, just because the more cranky type of band. But Virginia State really did a good job. Any closing out on this battle?
I think shout out to both programs. Shout out to Union. Shout out to Virginia State. I had Union edge in this battle for similar reasons as you did. I felt like they were able, with their style, to able to control the pace, and dictate a lot of eyes towards them. Just with their aggressiveness and their massive sound. If I'm Virginia State next year, I'm trying to do something different to pull them out of that. I got to do something different to pull them out of that, trying to just be in my face, relieve some of the pressure, take them to a different route. Especially when you're away, right, as Virginia State was, you have more means to dictate the battle to your liking, to where you want to go because you go first, you lead, so you get a little bit more wiggle room to say this is where I want the battle direction to go. This is the pace I want to set. When you're at home, you have the so-called home field advantage. But in my mind, I think that when you're at home, you're kind of a little bit of disadvantage when it comes to straight up play calling.
Okay, hold on one second. I couldn't freeze a little bit. I couldn't hear the last part that you said. But yeah. Okay. Let's okay, we're gonna see. I guess we're gonna make sure he's good. But yeah, Virginia State, Virginia, I mean, really good battle, man. Really thought I don't know, man. I thought Union was gonna really give it to him, like OD. Virginia State really shocked me with as far as their ability to be able to like stay up. And I was like, man, Virginia State really is like battle test. I didn't even think about him mentioning Bowie State. I forgot all about that battle, and they went for like an hour. So they may actually have a bigger book than Virginia Union. So I'm excited to see more of both of them. And like I said, that's only going to improve Virginia State's battle capability with Union being like that good. So let's move on to our next battle. Where you want to go, man? I'm thinking Southern versus Alcorn.
That was the next thing on my mind. Yep, Southern Alcorn. So before we get into the battle, do you remember what predictions we have for this one?
I don't know. I was thinking Alcorn was gonna give it to them because they've been doing pretty good in the past couple of weeks. So I think that was my biggest prediction. It's so crazy. This is why I love band, because you hear rumblings of who won like right after, like Saturday night, Sunday. So it's like you hear opinions, but then the good thing about the show or whatever is that you can go look at it, you can go, okay, I can see what people are saying, but also you kind of see the bias. You can see the delusion literally in what people are saying. First of all, so the mindset was that I saw on everything else was that Southern just completely came in here and cooked. Like they just came in here and washed it down. And that was not the case. If you watch this battle, I mean, Alcorn did a great job they're doing a great job this season, but this wasn't so cut and dry. This is another one of those, all right, like, what is your background in band? How delusional are you about your program to really decide? Because Southern, I feel like Alcorn really, he says Vidal went Southern, right? I went Alcorn, right? So I don't think that Southern completely took it at all. I feel like this was a really like balanced battle. The first note, the first thing you heard was Southern flub a song, like flub the first song, like somebody came in before everybody else, and like when that happens, that is one of the worst things that can happen, because I'm only speaking for me. You're thinking about that the entire song. Like it's very hard to move past that. Like when somebody comes in early, like really early before anybody else, just one person, you're thinking about like, oh my gosh, like everybody heard that. You're thinking to me, I'm thinking about that the entire point of the song. So that's very hard to get over. So I just thought about that as well. They both started with good energy, fast paced, high energy. Alcorn responded with the same type of song, so we're kind of in the same type of energy for the first round. So to me, that first round was very hard to decide who won, because it was kind of the same type of energy. Okay, I have the list here. I have a list of songs here. So that was the first round. It was like, okay, cool. I don't know. It's a good battle. We're still trying to decide. Third round, second round was Southern played The Worst by Janae Aiko, which I saw people talking about how good the song was, but I'm also thinking like, why play this song, this specific song? Like it's kind of an older, it's like 2017, 2018 type of song. It's kind of an older song. I'm like, what's the point of playing this specific song? I didn't really feel like it was like so good. Alcorn came back with a song I thought was pretty good. They didn't take the bite and kind of do a slower paced song. They played their own game. This is how you know that these bands are starting to jump levels. They're playing their own game. Southern then plays How Can I Eat? Alcorn plays He's King. Southern plays Kissing You by Toto, which I thought was pretty good. Alcorn plays like another rap tune kind of. Southern plays Checkmate. And then Alcorn plays Sharks by Lil Wayne. And that was the whole fifth quarter. What'd you think about this battle? Who you think won?
I had Southern taking it, man. So I'm gonna tell you why. I felt like Southern was slightly better sounding overall, and I liked the degree of difficulty that they played throughout their songs. I heard a lot of intricate things. But Alcorn was right in there, man. When I say it was like right there, I said, man, if we would have just changed settings, if we would have did this at Southern and they was at home, Alcorn might have just took this. Because I felt like they had a lot of creativity in their arrangements.
Right.
I felt like it sounded pretty good. And Southern really wasn't the aggressor, but they laid a good foundation of, you're going to have to compete with this song that we laid out in front of you. Because I like the Janae Aiko song. I really like that. Felt like not an old school, but like a good throwback almost. Kind of crazy to say that. But I felt like it's old enough and
Mhm.
recognizable.
I know, right? I know, right?
Like that one Eco song, and once they get to the chorus, you like start singing it a little bit. So I think that was good for the settings,
Mhm.
and especially like when we think of Alcorn, right? We typically don't think of Alcorn playing those songs that really catch your eye that the people know. Alcorn really is like, what's that B-side track or that track we really don't know of as much about that we want to go listen to, or dang, somebody made this into a crank song, right? That's what I feel like we got from Alcorn. So I think with Southern playing that, it's followed by How Can I Ease the Pain? It was just like, okay, we're going that R&B recognizable and laying on our strength of like we have a pretty good sounding band and we're not trying to go blow for blow with you, Alcorn. We're gonna try to bring you in and take you out of your pressure. And I think that when we said Alcorn does a really good job of applying a lot of pressure. And I feel like Southern Style didn't allow Alcorn to just push, 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 push.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, man. I agree. I mean, still though, if for a dominant band like Southern, when you want like, I would think that this would be too close of a pressure for me for Alcorn. Like, I don't know. It's like you would think like you're right. Their style doesn't allow Alcorn to like beat them up, completely win. But to me, this was very close. Alcorn playing their own game to me was close, was neck and neck to Southern. And I feel like that's just not what we've seen historically. But that just shows that these bands, I mean, with this year, these bands are jumping tiers more than we've ever seen. And Alcorn is a perfect example. When we've been talking about them for the past couple, and they're doing a great job, man. So shout out to Alcorn. I really felt like they didn't win in this battle, but they did a really great showing. Like we said, can your band have a great showing when they're out? And they did that. So great, another great battle this week, man, from Southern and Alcorn. All right, let's move on to
Mm-hmm.
one of the best battles I think, not only this week but just of the year from Jackson State and Jackson State versus Mississippi Valley. I think we've been talking about like raps, like don't double crank. We talk about that a lot, like as far as like giving us something new. And this battle was one of the best because it was more technical. It wasn't just a big rap tune battle, which I thought I was going to get out of Valley a lot. But that wasn't really the case from this battle. What do you think about this Jackson State versus Mississippi Valley battle?
Highly anticipated, man, because right now the SWAC bracket is just in complete shambles, man. We don't really know who's definitively better, best, top three, top one. Everyone's is up for grabs. So I was really highly anticipating this matchup to really just kind of clarify what we see going on between these bands. Right now, coming into the battle, we've seen Valley have a more aggressive presence, um, take out some unique selections, have a driving force with a lot of up tempo tunes, and we've seen a lot of Jackson State pulling out some oldies, some early 2000s, 90 R&B tunes that you recognize, but also having a massive sound with a lot of clarity. Coming into the battle, I'm thinking like, okay, Jackson State is probably going to be the better sounding band, but are they going to be able to deal with the pressure that Mississippi Valley has? And are they going to fully lean into having just a full crank on war with Valley, or they're going to pull out some tricks in the hat like Jackson State typically does for these matchups?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but like that, I thought it was going to be, like I said, I thought it was going to be a really crank up type of battle, but it really wasn't. I mean, it was really like technically sound. So here we go. Jack State played Decisions for the first song by Row 6, R6. Mississippi Valley Kill the Scene by Low Shimmy. Um, Jack State played Summer Rain by Carl Thomas. I thought that was good. Mississippi Valley played Where Do We Go From Here from Deborah Cox. Jackson State didn't take the bait. They played a crank song on top of that, the Hello by Cardi B. I thought that was good. Mississippi Valley played All the Time by Jeremiah featuring Lil Wayne. Jackson State played Maniac, which is a different type of like the rock song Maniac. She's a Maniac, or the dance 80s song Maniac. I thought that was different. Valley played Black Magic. Jack State played Monaco by Bad Bunny, which is a different type of sound. I thought that was good. Interesting type of different type of like, genre rather like Bad Bunny. And Alcorn played the Dragon Ball theme song, which was I thought was good. Probably one of their best songs of the night. Then it end with Valley playing the NBA Young Boy Shot Caller. So I mean, those songs alone, I felt like was like completely different from what I thought I was going to get from out of this battle. Again, close battle. I mean, we talked about Jack State being on like a top tier. It's going to be hard to beat this type of band. But Valley to me like did a great job. They didn't go straight crank up song every single time. Like the Black Magic song was different. The Dragon Ball theme song was different. I felt like it's a great showing. What do you think about this battle? I mean, bro, we had some great battles, man. What do you think about this?
Man, I think this is a great show for both bands, man. It's like I said last week, Jackson State's a hard band to beat. I think coming in with Valley, they did enough when it came to just song selection choices. I think the arrangements were pretty good, but sometimes it's just players on horn, dog. You gotta play. You gotta sound good. You gotta have the right phrasing. And I think Jackson State does a really good job at executing their songs, and they sound as they're supposed to when they're translated to the fans. Like, I think Valley just needed to have a better band to win this matchup. I think from the first song, the first note I heard, I'm like, this is going to be hard for Valley to keep up and perform with Jackson State this time, because they didn't seem like to have the band present that week for that performance.
Yeah, I mean, also too when Jackson State travel, it's kind of hard for them to or like bring in the full band.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also in state, so of course I felt like they were going to have the full band. I felt like that was going to be easy, of course. But yeah, man, great showing for both of these bands. I enjoyed this battle as well. I felt like it wasn't too heavy. I felt like it was an interesting song selection. One of the best song selections from both Valley in this battle too. I felt was like pretty good. So shout out to this battle, man. This is great battle. We can move on to our next one, which would be our last one, which is Texas Southern versus Alabama State. Which this is battle was the one I was probably looking forward to the most out of this week. I don't know, man. Again, all these bands are so are good. I don't know what I was thinking about Texas Southern and Alabama State. Alabama State's been on the road this year. I've been kind of wanting Texas Southern. Texas Southern, they just came off that W to me last week. So I feel like this is going to be a good one. Let's go with my notes. Texas Southern started off with a punch and an up-tempo, loud first song. Alabama State plays the Don't Look Any Further. It's the NLE Chopper song, but it's Don't Look Any Further is the sample song, which I thought was good. Good matchup, good first songs. I'm like, okay, this is good. Texas Southern plays Jackson 5, When I Had You, which was interesting. I thought it was interesting song choice. Bama State doesn't take debate. They play Motown Philly, but I feel like Motown Philly versus this song, I felt like it was more of like a cornier type of like up tempo kind of vibe that I felt like Texas Southern just killed with When I Had You. So I thought that they won that first round. Oh, they won the second round, and they kind of won the first round too. Okay, after that, Texas Southern plays No One Mourns the Wicked from Wicked, the movie, which I thought was interesting. So about song selection and song choice, like this is an interesting type of song to play. I thought that was good. Texas Southern, Bama State responds with "Touch Me, Tease Me," which I still don't know. I'm like, and in this thing, I'm like, I want to see about this because it was a different type of song selection. Like Roger just said, song selection was everything in this battle. And it was, because for them to play a Wicked song to then go to Touch Me, Tease Me, I'm like, oh wow, like this is about like what you enjoy. So what do you think about this battle up to this point?
Man, I think at this point, the margins, I'm thinking like, okay, what am I going to get from Texas Southern this week? Because they really didn't have a showing of their strengths versus Alcorn the weeks past. And knock out these first 3 rounds, I'm like, okay, where was this at? The blend, the dynamic contrast. So a lot of the runs they were doing very clean, good sounding. I'm like, man, this Texas Southern is pulling a lot of things out of their hat and out of their playbook. That's making it difficult for Bama State. I think Bama State had a really good band too, but I just didn't feel like they utilized all their strengths like they did earlier in the season. It just left me wanting more. I really like the first song by Bama State. I think both schools for the first round had me like, I don't know which one to really pick. I went with Bama State in the first round. Really kind of what sold me was the second half of how they went into their first song with the runs coming into. I don't know if you remember the specific part, but they had a bunch of runs come into like a real big crank part that was real crucial in that first round. And I think the Jackson Five by Texas Southern that was really unique. I thought that was amazing, and Bama State really didn't do anything to take away from the uniqueness that Texas Southern was putting forth. And I don't want to hear versus Texas Southern. I don't want to hear Motown Philly, dog. I don't want to hear that. I get it, I understand, but I think you leave too much of an opportunity with a band like Texas Southern to really just take the battle when you play a Motown Philly. That's like a layup they're giving. So I got Texas Southern up at this point.
All right. Yeah, I agree. It just wasn't. It didn't get from me. And so, Javon says, Horatio, when you say that you thought the song selection was interesting, is that a good or bad thing? I think that it depends on the audience that you're looking for, right? So, and I was reading about this in the comments. A lot of people were saying like them playing like the Wicked song. To me, I like to impress the audience. I like to say like, okay, well, we played this song that nobody's playing. Is it good or bad? So it really depends on what you like.
Mm-hmm.
Band is subjective. For me, I felt like that Wicked song up against Touch Me, Tease Me is a better song choice. But if you're in the room, most people are going to know Touch Me, Tease Me. So it depends on what you think is the best and what you think is, if so I say because it's interesting for me because it's a good song choice, but is it something that's going to win that round in that place? So I thought that it was good. Okay, let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
The response with the up tempo, Bama State plays bump and grind intro into Panty Dropper. What in a song called Panty Dropper by R. Kelly? Which is again the up tempo is a good song choice, but the Bama State playing Panty Dropper in this place is going to get more of the crowd. So you think about what works. I said both bands in this time are trying to control the battle, which to me is a sign of a good battle. It's not one up. Both guys still trying to control about who they think is going to win. I said Texas Southern came back with a rap tune. Alabama State played Throat Baby, which I thought was not a good song choice in 2025. Texas Southern took that round. Leg shaking.
Mm-hmm.
I said Pan Dropper. Jesus Christ. Leg shaking. Thank you. And that song goes in that environment. So they play Throat Baby. You can call it leave it. Texas Southern played a rap tune. ASU ended out with Shot Calling by NBA Youngboy. I'm gonna give it Texas Southern just based on song selection. Kind of for me as a band head, more technically sound material. But Bama State again not that close. How delusional are you in the chat? Who you think won, man? Who you think won, bro?
Man, I gave Texas Southern, man. They gave me less throwaways. I feel like Motown Philly, that's kind of in this battle with and the point that entry was placed was a little throwaway. The leg shaking, I think that's kind of like a Alabama State classic S. I know they played it years back and it went up. I don't know.
Right.
I don't. It didn't seal. It didn't seal it for me. And then people have a very polarizing view of R. Kelly these days. I would have pulled out this week, this late in the battle to try to separate myself, right? And I think that let's look at the moment itself, right? I feel that for Texas Southern, this performance was season defining for them. We have Alabama State who has a great track record this season, and they pulled out a lot of diversity in their books, and they have some selections there that if you don't watch the entire battle, you might want to check out the Wicked Piece, or you might want to check out the Jackson Five song. So with those things in mind, I give it to Texas Southern. Plus, they sounded overall very well. They played very well, and yeah, I think when we talk about um, Texas Southern years back, like man, maybe if they had the band to execute a lot of these things, it would come off a lot better. That's what I experienced in this battle. I felt like they executed a lot of the intricate things that they were doing.
Mhm.
I just wish they would have showed more of this, but sometimes songs not ready. It's the truth.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's a great analysis, Ben. Like you give it to Texas Southern because they have a lot more songs that you want to go check out individually. So I can agree with that. I can agree with that. So I guess we both get Texas Southern that battle. I mean, Bama State man came out swinging at the beginning of this year, man. They really was in like maybe like a 4-5-0 type against they competition until they saw Jackson State. Until they saw Jackson State, man, they really kind of was taking L's. Then they went in the parking lot, what I'm saying, against A&M and all them, and they kind of went down too. But they was great. That was up at the beginning of the season, man. And like Roger said, it is something to battle at Bama State. Just it's one of the best HBCU band venues to play at. It gives you a lot of energy. So I mean, another great week in band, yo. I mean, we saw a lot of great competitions. The theme of this week is how delusional are you about your band? With these battles being so close, you kind of got to be delusional. You kind of got to lean on your own regional bias sometimes. And man, that video about from the Alabama State, bro, go watch it. It's on Texas Southern's Instagram. It is literally of Alabama State player, like just like Nine said, doing this really to Texas Southern, and they recorded it and they posted it on their page. Oh my, that is so embarrassing. Who wants to be the guy that's enjoying another band? That's why you got to be delusional, man. Right. So with this, we give it to Texas Southern because of that guy, because of the energy that he was giving. Because of him. We have to give it to Texas Southern. I mean, but they did a great job. Right. I mean, this week was a great showing. I mean, we saw Southern versus Alcorn. Like Alcorn took that. I mean, we feel like Southern took that, not by that much, but still a great showing from Alcorn. Jackson State versus Valley, great technical battle between both of these bands, and Virginia Union versus Virginia State, great battle for Virginia. We see that Union, of course, is I feel like taking over the state slowly, but Virginia State did a great showing as well. Any recap on the battle that we talked about before we move into next week predictions?
I would say this, man. Let's talk about delusion, man. Let's say you was marching this weekend. Who would you pick to have your brain, to keep your sanity, to make you the least delusional? Who can you pick to march for that doesn't have you pulling out all the small different details to justify your win? Who would you want to be, man?
That's a good question. Okay. I might go Texas. I might go Texas Southern. But I'm also thinking about who had the widest margin of a win this out of all of these. Mm-hmm. And bro, this is very hard to say like what band I would get into to feel like a little bit more comfortable. I guess I would go Texas Southern, man, just because based on I'm telling you that Motown Philly didn't serve them at all, and Throat Baby didn't serve them. So I think I'm gonna go with them because if I was then I would feel more comfortable more than a Southern. To be honest, because I feel like for the esteem of Southern to have Alcorn win a couple rounds on you is kind of like kind of pushing it. So I wouldn't join Southern band to feel safe. I would in this week I would go Texas Southern. What about you?
I would have to say Texas Southern, man, for simply the reason you stated, and I would say I was thinking Jackson, but it's like the Jackson in me knows it's supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be. We sound better. We cranking up louder than you, and we doing some amazing stuff at the same time. That's supposed to be another weekend. That's just
right.
That's what it's supposed to be. So I got a quick go with Texas Southern. Going across state lines, traveling, the field of travel, showing up. You're in the Bama State environment. That's a fun weekend. I'm going Texas
Yeah,
Southern.
definitely. All right. So next week, which would be the 15th, we have some great matchups. Let's go ahead and get into them. So next week we have, or this week coming up, we have Florida A&M versus Alabama A&M. Who we got?
Florida A&M.
I'm giving it, man. I'm sorry, I'm not riding the FAMU hype train, and FAMU has a hype train right now with their last week performance. I'm gonna go with Alabama A&M. All right, we got Grambling versus Alcorn.
Alcorn.
I feel like Alcorn will go in there and do some damage, man. This is a great dub to get Alcorn. We didn't talk about Dale State and Morgan State.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah. Okay. Real quick. We're gonna jump there. We're gonna jump back real quick. Yo, Dale State. Dale State did a great job against Morgan State, yo. Great job. They're not a complete polished band yet, but like I said, with the hype of Deshaun Jackson being there and like them probably going to travel a lot more and them getting a lot more recognition, they were on First Take. They're doing a lot more stuff they're getting a lot more exposure than we're used to seeing versus Delaware State. I feel like they did a great job, and I feel like with the football team getting this much exposure, the band has to rise as well. So to me, like they did a great job. They were a real aggressive against Morgan State. Morgan State to me isn't the type of band that is like going to duke it out with you. And this was a long battle. And it was in the rain, like Shannon says. It was in the rain, and it was for an hour. It was long. It was over 45 minutes. But I feel like Delaware State did a great job. They had the energy on their side, and I'm excited to see where they go as a program in years to come. What do you think about them?
Yeah, man. I like their aggressiveness. They seemed like they wanted to be in it. They wanted to take the fight to Morgan this week. I think some of the main ingredients are still coming together for that program, but it's promising, man. It's promising. They have some history and legacy at the previous Delaware State bands where Mr. Miguel Bonds was the band director like 05, 06 times. Got clips of those bands. So if you haven't heard those 05, 06 Delaware State bands, check those out. Some real good clips on those. And I can see like the essence and the identity of that group still in this program. Morgan, I enjoyed Morgan. What I want from Morgan more is the energy that we want to excel and grow and be competitive. I feel part of me feels like Morgan's like we're gonna be this good, we nice polished sound will be all right, and then we just gonna coast it out. I need something that's gonna separate them because if you're gonna be the we sound good type of band, go all the way, take it all the way there. Um, this I'm holding middle ground type of thing just kind of make me like,
right.
It doesn't sit too well with me, but I enjoy the program. They were a pretty entertaining group, and shout out to them for staying that long for like an hour battle, man.
Yeah. Apparently, like Aaron says in the chat, it was a personal. The band director was back home, so I guess that means a lot. But yeah, great showing to me from Dale State. I feel like they did a great job. They were very aggressive. So I'm excited to see where they come back. So the reason why I brought them up is because next week or this week they're playing Howard. So band wise, I've been keeping up with the football team, but band wise, I mean, this is going to be a great dub. I mean, Delaware State is getting a lot of burn this year as far as like getting some competitions. You know what I'm saying? So they're becoming battle tested. So I'm excited to see them next week. All right. So Jackson State versus Bethune-Cookman.
We got Jackson State, man.
Jackson State, Bethune-Cookman's on the clock here. Alabama State versus Mississippi Valley. Ooh. Another one. We got another one. I'm excited to see this one. Bama State, you can get on top this week. I'm going Valley though. but Bama State, I think this would be a good showing for Bama State if they can really give it to Valley.
This is a must win for Bama State. This is a must. I'm going Bama State. This is a must win.
Yeah, must win for Bama State. Yeah, you guys have to. In order for them to really put the cap on like them jumping up tiers this season, because they have. Bama State sounds great this year. They have to beat Valley at Valley. It's going to be great. Morgan State versus Norfolk State.
Norfolk State,
but it's at Norfolk too. Norfolk, I need new songs. I need at least 2 new songs from Norfolk State this week. I need that from them. South Carolina State versus North Carolina Central. Ooh,
Central.
I'm gonna go Central,
I'll go Central.
but I'm gonna go Central. But South Carolina State, man, again, South Carolina State. This is a must win for y'all. If y'all go to Central, and y'all win convincingly. This would be great because Central's doing great in the MEAC. UAPB versus Prairie View.
Goodness.
I'm going PV.
UAPB.
Shannon says, I hate that Norfolk didn't travel to Central this past weekend. I know, man. That's what I'm talking about when I say, like, I need Norfolk State to get behind that band program because they could be one of the best programs that we've seen. And if they was to go to places and really, like, turn them out, it'd be so great. Benedict versus Albany State. That's going to be a good one, too.
I'll go Benedict.
I'm going to go Albany State. Albany's been doing good, man. They had a good showing against last week. They played who they played last week? It was good though. I saw clips of them in their band. Fort Valley.
Fort Valley.
Yeah.
I had Fort Valley winning that, but
yeah, I know. We didn't get a chance to check that out. Well, I didn't, but I just saw clips. People, on people's stories or whatever. I think it was Albany's homecoming. But again, great showing from them. We can talk about that next week. John C. Smith versus Virginia Union. Virginia Union. I saw a clip of John C. Smith versus Livingstone last week on the field. They did a battle on the field. I know, right? So, hey, man, we got some good battles going. And the last but not least, Texas Southern versus Southern University at Southern. How do you think it's going to turn out?
I'll go Texas Southern.
I'm going Texas Southern as well. Southern didn't win convincingly. I mean, they won, but they didn't win convincingly over Alcorn last week. Texas Southern, we know, just like we talked about Morgan State and Dell State, it's band director tension, it's back and forth. So I think that Texas Southern is going to really put on. Like, this is going to be a good one. Mm-hmm. I'm going Texas Southern, but yeah, man, it's going to be a good battle this week. So with that being said, those are our predictions for next week. Make sure you guys come back. Make sure you check out the videos and come back here and we'll recap them for you. But overall, I mean, this week was a great week, guys. A lot of close battles. Every time we have a close battle, I can't wait to get here and hear your opinion on it, to see if it's different than mine. But a lot of great ones. So much so you had to be delusional with your band program. Even the small things, even not bobbing your head, you have to be like, it was cool. It was
stone face.
Yeah, stone face. That's what you got to do because they're going to record you. They're going to put you on the Instagram to show that we're better than you because your band is jigging to our band. So, of course, guys, we appreciate you guys tuning in to FaceOff. You can follow the page at It's a FaceOff or our podcast page at FaceOff ATC. You follow me on all social media at Horatio Radio.
You can follow me on Instagram at V for Vidal. Check out our YouTube page. Get them likes up, subscribe, all that good stuff, man.
And before we leave, let's crown our band of the week. Who was your band of the week this week?
And I picked my band to participate in Texas Southern, but I had my band of the week being Jackson State. Mm-hmm. I really like that Carl Thomas that they played. That was one of my favorite selections of the weekend.
Yeah, I think I got two. I'm gonna go with Texas Southern, and then I'm gonna go with Wilberforce University.
Oh.
If y'all have not seen, check out Talladega versus Wilberforce. They had a battle in the gym. If you just love this loud cranking ass shit, just just jamboree style. Both of the bands are lined up beside each other in the gym. It's just a mess, but it's a great mess, of course. And I thought Wilberforce, to me, as a band that's a young program, they showed up and showed out. So I'm gonna split mine between Texas Southern and Wilberforce for showing up in the gym against Talladega. Being aggressive. It was a great battle, but just we have to show out for the bands that are young, and trying to grow. You know what I'm saying? And that's a band program that I thought did a great job. So that's my band of the week: Texas Southern and Wilberforce University. But of course, guys, we appreciate you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
All right, y'all, man.
FaceOff is a media and entertainment network creating dynamic spaces for band culture and music competition.
And at heart, we are community creators that are focused on building innovative experiences to express our culture authentically.
Founded by Javon Austin and Rich Trotman, FaceOff launched with On the Kit.
So On the Kit is a three-way versatile drum battle league where drummers compete head-to-head for 4 quarters for the title of the ultimate all-around drummer.
The champion himself.
That feeling right there is just what drives me.
Amazing. I mean, your strength, your agility, the power that you play with is crazy, insane.
At face value, we're a multimedia and entertainment company where we want to be the go-to hub for all things of our band culture. So from show-style marching band to stage band to the drums and more. So when it comes to providing information, broadcasting, and engagement, we want to be that space.